Captain Hook, the villain from Peter Pan. Imagine him in his red coat with his pirate crew, his mustachio, and his metallic hand. Recently, I learned that J.M. Barrie, the creator of Captain Hook and Peter Pan, gave a speech where he mentioned that Captain Hook went to the prestigious University of Oxford. What a puzzling detail. I sat for a minute and thought, what could that possibly mean? Here's what I concluded. A good education doesn't guarantee that you will become a good person. And that's a scary thought to have. Was it possible for me to complete a college education without having developed it all morally? I pondered this question during the pandemic while I was sitting at home. Classes were the last thing on my mind. No, I need to discover the blueprint for a good person. Believe it or not, I don't have all the answers. So I'm just going to focus on one point today. In today's age, it's especially important to seek virtue. Although everyone knows virtue is a good thing, there are three alternatives that people are often more inclined to seek: pleasure, happiness, and status. Pleasure is neither good or bad on its own, but instant gratification for most of us is just a swipe away. That's a big problem. Social media, junk food, online shopping, video games, gambling, the list goes on. Any of these could possibly turn to if you're careful. And it's no wonder why. The companies that make these products design them to keep you coming back. This year, I started a project to track my life more carefully, and I was shocked to discover that I spend a quarter of my time on the internet on YouTube. But if I turned off video recommendations, then I spent almost none of my time on it. When we're seeking pleasure, we're fighting an uphill battle against these companies. Maybe we should focus on happiness rather than pleasure then. Unfortunately, experience shows that happiness is a fickle friend. Psychology research shows that even when we experience major changes, whether positive or negative, we return to a stable level of happiness over time. When I graduated high school, I thought that happiness would never go away. When I went through a sudden breakup, I felt like the cloud over my head would stay with me forever. I was wrong on both counts. And anyway, we often have to do things that we don't like. Uninspiring menial chores, confronting people, dealing with tragic events. All of us have had to deal with difficult situations during this pandemic, and it's both convenient and unhelpful to say that we just needed to look for more happiness. Finally, let's not forget that many people would rather have social status than happiness. Like pleasure, status is not inherently positive or negative. But the internet floods us with updates about the lives of strangers, which makes it hard not to think about where we stand compared to others. This kind of status is defined by visibility and reminding people that we are special. Getting a high-paying job or having a nice house, they can be worthy goals, but it matters whether we do it because it's actually the right decision or because we want to keep up an appearance. So what do status, happiness, and pleasure have in common? They're not sustainable goals. They're not goals that are about who we are as people or how you treat others. Here's what I'll suggest instead. Pick a virtue or a value that you want to instill and see what you can do to build it. Right now, I'm working on peace of mind. For example, I try to journal and meditate. Since I've found many apps and games distracting, I've deleted most social media and I keep my phone on grayscale at all times. It's a choice that some people find odd, but I've decided that it matters to me. And that's what counts. Friends, if we don't consciously decide what matters to us, then our values will be chosen for us. It takes work to build values, and it might mean you have to buck convention. We're all capable of doing it. I wish you the best of luck as you find your personal values. Thank you.